Imagine stepping out your front door on a crisp West Virginia night, keys in hand, ready for another long haul on the road. The stars hang low over the quiet hills of Tunnelton, and the only sound is the distant hum of crickets. But what if, in that moment, hidden eyes watch from the shadows next door? What if your trusted neighbors, the ones who waved hello every morning, harbored a darkness that would swallow you whole? Philip Buckie Barlow lived that nightmare on May 28, 2019. A beloved trucker, known for his warm smile and helping hand, he vanished without a trace, leaving behind whispers of lies and buried secrets in his tight-knit community. As the days stretched into a desperate search, inconsistencies piled up, evasive glances, contradictory stories, and a chilling sense that those closest to him knew more than they let on. In the unfolding tale ahead, we'll unravel the web of deception, expose the motives twisted by greed and thrill, and confront the shocking betrayal that shattered a small town forever. Buckie Barlow was the kind of man who made strangers feel like family. At 61, with retirement just 4 months away, he dreamed of trading his rig for a peaceful life in Indiana with his longtime girlfriend, Mary Butler. They'd met in 2002, building a bond across miles, her in Indiana, and him hauling loads through the Appalachian backroads. That fateful night, Buckie packed his lunch, simple sandwiches, a thermos of coffee, and headed to his pickup truck parked outside his modest home on a rural lane. The air was cool, carrying the scent of pine from the surrounding woods. He had no idea that Laura Lynn Martin and Robert Bobby Quinn, his neighbors living just a stone's throw away, had been watching his routine for weeks. What drove them to lurk in the darkness? A desperate need for cash to pay a looming utility bill, or something far more sinister bubbling beneath the surface? As Buckie turned the key in the ignition, masked figures emerged from the night, their gloves tight, their intentions lethal. But little did anyone know, this was only the beginning of a mystery that would expose the hidden rot in a seemingly idyllic neighborhood. In the rolling hills of Preston County, West Virginia, where coal mines once boomed and families stuck together through hard times, Philip Buckie Barlow grew up as one of 9 siblings. Born in 1957, he learned early the value of hard work. His father toiled in the mines, his mother kept the home fires burning. Buckie dropped out of high school to chase a life on the open road, becoming a trucker who hauled everything from lumber to machinery. His niece, Michelle Bucklew, remembered him as the uncle who always showed up with a grin in the story, helping fix a leaky roof or sharing a laugh over coffee. He was the glue, she'd say, her voice thick with emotion. Friends like Gregory Maxwell, his cousin, echoed that. Buckie was reliable, the guy who'd pull over to help a stranded motorist without a second thought. Tunnelton was his haven, a speck on the map with fewer than 300 souls, where everyone knew everyone's business, or so it seemed. The neighborhood was a cluster of weathered homes along winding dirt roads, framed by dense forests and babbling creeks. Buckie lived simply, his house a cozy refuge with a garage full of tools and a porch for watching sunsets. Mary, his partner of 17 years, had already moved to Indiana, eagerly awaiting his retirement. They'd talk nightly, planning their future, gardens, road trips, quiet evenings. But behind those closed doors, not everyone shared in Buckie's goodwill. Whispers of grudges floated unspoken, a borrowed tool never returned, a property line dispute simmering. Laura Martin, 38, and Bobby Quinn, 45, had moved in nearby in 2018, their relationship stormy and secretive. Laura, with her sharp eyes and quick temper, and Bobby, brooding and volatile. They kept to themselves, but their financial woes were no secret. Bills piled up, and desperation bred dark ideas. As Buckie prepared for that last shift, the neighborhood's facade of safety cracked ever so slightly. What festered in the hearts of those next door? The clock ticked past midnight on May 28, 2019, as Buckie stepped out into the cool air, his breath visible under the porch light. He'd kissed Mary goodbye over the phone earlier, promising to call when he reached the depot. His truck, a reliable old Ford, sat waiting. Neighbors later recalled the night as ordinary. Crickets chirping, a dog barking in the distance. But for Buckie, it turned deadly in an instant. Two figures, cloaked in darkness and wearing masks, lunged from the shadows beside his driveway. One grabbed him from behind, the other rifled through his pockets. Buckie fought back fiercely, his trucker's build giving him strength, but the attackers were relentless. "I know who you are," he gasped, recognizing something familiar, even through the disguises. Dragged into the back seat of his own vehicle, he struggled as they bound him, the engine roaring to life. Witnesses? None at first. A distant neighbor thought they heard a muffled scuffle, but dismissed it as wildlife. Friends and family pieced together the timeline later. Buckie was last seen by a coworker at a gas station earlier that evening, filling up and chatting about retirement. Mary grew worried when his calls stopped. By morning, alarm spread. His boss reported him missing after he failed to show for work, a first in decades. Volunteers gathered, combing the woods and roads. Agnes Root, Buckie's sister, clutched a photo of him, tears streaming as she called out his name. Michael Barlow, his brother, organized search parties, their flashlights piercing the dawn mist. And then, suddenly, Buckie's truck was spotted on Showerbath Road, outside Kingwood, half-burned, interior smoldering from intentional blaze, oil drenched everywhere. The air reeked of failure, as if the arsonists had botched their cover-up. What happened to Buckie? The community held its breath, but the next morning, something chilling was discovered that would turn suspicion inward. 10 days of agonizing search passed, with hundreds of volunteers, family, friends, locals, scouring the rugged terrain of Preston County. Hope faded with each empty trail. Then, on June 8, 2019, hunters training their dogs near Fortney's Mill stumbled upon a nightmare. A body face down in a remote creek, moderately decomposed, jeans pulled to the ankles, shirt missing. The water had preserved some details, but the savagery was evident. A deep laceration across the throat, severing jugular, artery, esophagus, and trachea. Nearly decapitated. Dental records confirmed it. Philip, Buckie Barlow. Police swarmed the scene, the quiet woods now a hive of activity. Preston County Sheriff's Department, led by Chief Deputy Paul Moe Pritt and Captain Travis Ticknell, treated it as homicide from the start. The body's position suggested dumping, not accident. Evidence pointed to foul play. No wallet, signs of struggle in the truck's back seat. Neighbors were interviewed door to door. Laura Martin and Bobby Quinn, living adjacent to Buckie, claimed innocence. "We heard nothing," Laura said, blaming a noisy air conditioner. Bobby nodded, but his eyes darted. Others were more forthcoming. A friend mentioned Buckie's routine cash on hand for trips. But inconsistencies emerged. One neighbor recalled seeing lights at Buckie's late that night. Another heard a vehicle speed away. Evasive answers piled up, like Laura changing her story to a washer and dryer causing the noise. It was almost as if someone didn't want investigators to know the full story. Suspicion brewed. Who in this close community could harbor such violence? The autopsy revealed Buckie fought hard. Bruises on his arms, defensive wounds. As detectives pressed, the neighborhood's unity fractured. With the body found, the investigation intensified. Deputies canvassed Tunnelton, uncovering a web of half-truths. Laura and Bobby, already jailed in Maryland for breaking and entering, became focal points. Their initial statements clashed. Air conditioner versus laundry machines. A search of their home yielded letters mentioning Buckie, penned while Laura was incarcerated. Jail calls were reviewed. Laura's explicit conversations with ex-boyfriend Mark enraged Bobby, prompting his confession on October 9, 2020. Waiving rights, he detailed the plan: rob Buckie for cash to pay bills. They ambushed him, dragged him into the truck, drove to Fortney's Mill. Laura, he claimed, sliced the throat while he held Buckie down. He gurgled like a frog. Bobby recounted, chillingly. Laura, extradited, confessed too but flipped blame. Bobby did the killing. She assisted out of fear. Inmates added horror. Laura bragged about the blood's warmth, how she loved it, and ate Bucky's sandwiches with crimson hands. Theories swirled. Simple robbery? Or Laura's thrill-seeking? Motives deepened. Jealousy over Bucky's stable life. Grudges from petty disputes. Community tension rose. Once friendly waves turned to wary stares. Ever Barlow, Bucky's brother, demanded answers, noting a post-death break-in at Bucky's garage. Detectives chased leads, corroborating details only killers knew. Routes burned sight. But when police dug deeper into one particular neighbor's story, what they found shocked everyone. The couple's equal roles in the brutality. As arrests loomed, suspicion poisoned Tunnelton. Neighbors who once shared fences now eyed each other with doubt. Laura and Bobby's motives clarified. Desperate for money, they targeted Bucky, knowing his payday routine. But it escalated. Bucky's recognition through masks sealed his fate. He knew us, Bobby admitted. The kidnapping charge stemmed from the forced drive, robbery from stolen cash, concealment from the creek dump. Emotional waves hit hard. Mary Butler, devastated, replayed their last call, her dreams shattered. Bucky's siblings, Agnes, Michael, Everett, grappled with betrayal. Why our brother? Agnes wept. Community gatherings turned somber. Whispers of, "I always thought they were off," surfacing. A surprising detail shifted everything. A 2020 witness overheard Laura's confession in jail, boasting of the sensation. It painted her not as accomplice but instigator, deriving pleasure from the act. Tensions peaked. Friends avoided the couple's empty home, now a symbol of hidden evil. Neighbors who once borrowed tools from Bucky now locked doors, wondering what else lurked unseen. The turning point came slowly, deliberately, as confessions unraveled the facade. Laura and Bobby, indicted in June 2021 for murder, kidnapping, robbery, and concealment, faced the truth. They weren't just witnesses. They were the keepers of the deadliest secret. Hiding behind lies about noisy appliances, they concealed their plot, the savage attack, the gurgling death at the bridge. The shock rippled. A community betrayed by its own. Inmates' testimonies exposed Laura's delight. "I wanted to feel that again." A twist revealing psychopathic glee amid greed. Pacing dragged in court, emphasizing the horror. Bucky's family confronted the monsters. "You took our glue," Michelle said. The neighborhood reeled. How had no one seen the signs? The hidden truth. Neighbors had known more. Small suspicions ignored in politeness. Betrayal's weight crushed spirits, leaving scars on the hills. In summer 2022, Laura and Bobby pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and robbery, dropping other charges. Sentenced October 2022 to life, plus 180 years. Bobby parole-eligible 2080, Laura 2081. Justice. Partial. Prosecutors noted equal roles. Family found solace, but no closure. "He fought for his life," Captain Ticknell said. Tunnelton coped, memorials honoring Bucky. His life, warm, steadfast, lingered in stories shared over fences. Yet questions haunted. Could neighbors have intervened? What other secrets hid in the shadows? In the end, the neighbors weren't just bystanders. They were the architects of deception, their secrets forging Bucky's tragic end. If your neighbor knew more than they admitted, how would you ever know? What do you think the neighbors were hiding? Let us know in the comments below. If this story shocked you, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss more unbelievable true stories.